Welcome wholeness. Welcome to Notes of Nara. This is Naja Rashida here, and let's just jump right into it. Wealth. Let's see. You cannot eat money or bullets. No, you cannot. There's this artist, her name is AURORA. She's in her late 20s. She is from Sweden. She's an amazing musician, very powerful fairy voice. She's like a fairy. To me, a lot of Scandinavian people, they're very elf-like or they're very fairy-like. It's just Scandinavia gives me like this ancient mystical folklore, European folklore-esque Nordic magical place. When it comes to like how they look, she's adorable, she's angelic, she has a very beautiful voice, but she has a song called, oh dang it, what's the name of the song? Okay, there's a lyric that she sings. You cannot eat money, oh no. You cannot eat money, oh no. When the rivers have poisoned and the last tree has fallen, you cannot eat money, oh no. Oh no. And that always stuck with me. It's very beautiful. I can't remember. Oh! Okay, when I find the link, I'll add it to this video, hopefully, and you'll check it out. But I was having a conversation with a very close friend of mine, and we get on the subject of, worst case scenario, the probability of World War III, gun ownership, living on homesteads, off the grid, blah, 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 blah. And, my friend, she's a parent. I'm not a parent. We're very different, but we link up very well. We have very similar values, I believe. And so it had me thinking, and then when I have a conversation with my dad's very money focused, very money, you have to have money, blah, 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 blah. And money and bullets are the two most inorganic systems that we have in place in the human experience. They are completely part of the synthetic, fragmented, patriarchal world. When I mention patriarchy, I'm not bashing men. I'm not coming for men. I love men. I love my fellow man, okay? My fellow human being. Patriarchy is a system. It is a system dominated by one gender over the other, okay? We don't live in a matriarchal society. We don't, okay? And people will say, well, women have rights now. Well, what's funny, it's so interesting. It's like women were given rights by man. Man allowed women to have rights. You see that? You see how much power you have the right to give rights or not give rights to people? That's the people who run the world. Huh? Like, I don't know. It's not rocket science, but anyway. So I just wanted to make that comment because a lot of people get caught up when I made Rise of the Matriarch videos. Like, the pendulum swings both ways. And right now the pendulum's definitely swinging the other way. And it was in favor for an old system for a long time. And now the paradigm is shifting. Truly it is. And you can say, well, the role of man has changed and women are just blah, 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 and you can say that. That's true too, I guess, but I don't know, like the patriarchal system is eating itself from the inside out. They've taken the man outside from the home. They've made a religious, spiritual culture in the Western world secular. So without religion and without the man in the home to lead, a patriarchal system buckles. It begins to buckle at the knees. And this is their doing. This is their undoing. So it's like, you can't blame. I'm not here to blame anybody, but it's just a systematic, the beginning of the end for an old way of life. Especially with the introduction of the digital age, where you have more and more AI taking over the jobs of men. and women, but predominantly men. So, anywho, side note, you cannot eat money or bullets. Your health is and should be your top priority. The food, I'm going to put a link down below because I watched this beautiful interview. Dr. Yvonne Burkart, I believe it's Burkart, bear with me, I'm sorry. I just wrapped up a whole semester, so please bear with me. But she is a leading toxicologist, and I watched the whole thing. And it's labeled, it's on the Diary of the CEO, and it's an interview titled "Get Rid of Your Scented Candles." And I've been going through, like I've mentioned before, a minimalism, slowly processing and purging a lot of things that are no longer healthy for me. But one thing for sure, going into 2025, as a 36 young middle-aged woman, my health, I've always kind of thrived off of my youth and being very youthful in appearance, youthful in my body. I don't deal with weight issues or any kind of health crisis or chronic health issues at the moment right now. I'm blessed for that. I'm grateful for that. However, things age, things begin to degenerate, and things begin to break down and dissolve because we all go down this path of mortality. And so knowing what I know now compared to, like, let's say when I was 26 years old or when I was 16, it is imperative for us to be our own health advocate. It is imperative for us to be knowledgeable. And after, the murder, assassination of the CEO of United Healthcare, that kind of, it struck a chord in me a bit, right? Because I've worked in healthcare and I've had to deal with patients who had to face the reality of death, of their own death, and the lack of good treatment or lack of coverage if they're insured by this company and other insurance companies too. It's a horrible mess. It's chaotic. It's broken. But just on the phone today, my dad was telling me how, they're telling me I'm pre-diabetic now. My dad is his own advocate. He goes to his doctor's appointments. He takes what's prescribed if it's reasonable. He's a healthy 67-year-old. And two things he says that he wanted to increase are his meditation and working out, right? But he's just too freaking tired. He's reached his plateau. It's a plateau, okay? He can't push anymore because he's done hard labor working in factory, right? Blue collar, okay? Through and through. But going into this new year, I'm like, I feel this calling to really to get in tune with my body, with my health, because no matter how much money you can acquire, if you don't have a sound mind, if your cognitive reasoning is affected, if you got some serious unknown issues floating around in your body, but you're worried about the grind, you're worried about retirement, you're worried about paying this and paying that and spending this and spending that and acquiring this much money, your mental health is poor, your spiritual health is poor. Shit. That to me is the end of the world. I would not want all the money in the world and be in poor health, or have a effed up mental health, or not be able to move right. You know what I'm saying? It's beginning to hit me more than, waiting until I'm 45 or 50 or 60 years old. And so, reviewing and processing all this, and and I brought this up to my friend because she's a mother and a wife, and we grew up in college together. We met when we were 18 years old, and now we're 36. And she she's worried about the political stance, and the gun violence here in the U.S. I mean, there's shootout after shootout after shootout at many different schools all across the country. It's like every other week, at least once a month, sadly. So it's a reality, unfortunately. And I asked her, I said, the most important thing, when it comes to bullets, right? When it comes to defending your own, defending your home, defending your family, what is your philosophy on life and death? What is it? Is your life, could you see yourself taking a life of another to protect the lives of your children? Could you see yourself taking another woman's child, the life of another woman's child, away to protect the lives of your future children? Or could you be at peace knowing that we are all part of the all, and whatever happens, happens? That's a very hard swallow hard swallow. It's a very hard pill to swallow. When you think about it, I am not a mother, so it's easier for me to just be like, well, I'm not. If I'm put in a situation where it's fight or flight, if there's an opening to flight, to get away, I'm going to get away. If I have to fight and I don't have the tools or the strength, so be it. It is my end, and I would have to accept that. I don't necessarily, could see myself taking the life of another to preserve my own, in a sense, like standing on an ideology, right? Because you don't believe in this, I'm going to take your life for that. Like, I just cannot get that. I can't. Like, it's just a block for me. And so yeah, and a whole nother thing, is so hard to answer that, because it's like you have to be in that situation. Like, I think someone who's in the middle of a war, or who survived a war, would be better equipped to answer such a question. If they were able to, if they had to make a choice to take the life of someone else's child to protect their own, because that's what you're doing. You're taking the life of someone else's child. A man and a woman got together to create that child that grew up into an adult that is now threatening the life of you and your children. So that's someone else's child. We don't really put that in perspective, because we just see this one person standing in front of us. But they were once young. They were once someone's baby who suckled someone's breast. They were once an egg and a sperm and growing in someone's womb. So it's like, it's a very difficult predicament, especially in the especially in the U.S., because this is a gun-slinging country, okay? But yeah, the most important thing is food. Can I eat money? You can't eat bullets. The two most synthetic, inorganic, unnatural systems that we have in place that people kill over. It's one thing to kill over food, because it's food. You know what I'm saying? In nature, animals, like, they go at it. Either you eat or you're eaten. It is what it is in nature. It's life or death. This, when it comes to the human species, we're a mess. So preserving one's health to the best of your ability. Prioritize your health. And yeah, is it overwhelming? Yes. Is everything poisonous and toxic? It is. It is. Everything you can think of is toxic. We all have plastic swarming through our veins. Yes, we do. Even the vegans and those who live off the grid and closer to the land, we all got plastic in us. But it's all about your intent, your willpower, and your heart, and your decision and your choices. Truly, But just remember, your true wealth is your health. Because once your health is gone, it's gone. And wealth, you can always get back. You know how many times I was walking around Barnes & Noble the other day and I saw Al Pacino. He wrote a book. And I was flipping through, like in autobiographies, people will have like a section with old pictures, right, of their private life. And so I was flipping through the pictures like, oh, little Al Pacino, little baby. Oh, look, he's 20-something. Oh, look, he's 60. Oh. And then I look at the text and it says, and I didn't know that I only had $90,000 to my name, and I wasn't aware of this. And so in order to keep up the lifestyle as an actor in Hollywood, I had to go back to work. He was completely penniless. This very well-known, talented actor, I think it happened to him twice in his life where he lost everything. He would spin, but he wasn't making enough movies to fit all the costs, right? So he make a killing off of like Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Godfather 3, what's another one? Get Carter? Is it Get Carter? Okay, made one of those. What's another one in the 90s he did? Devil's Advocate. I mean, he was the it dude, okay? And then he stopped making movies, but then he spent more than what he was making. And this is a multi-million-dollar actor. So he had to go back in. But the only way he could go back in and make more movies is how? His health. He had to be healthy to do that. You can go bankrupt. You can lose your whole business. You can go be homeless. But if you have no health, man. Look, 3.5 years working in healthcare altogether. The last year, 2023 to 2024, I worked in a hospital, okay? Intensive care. You don't have your health and your money is messed up, ooh boy. Be healthy and your money is effed up, okay, you can work your way out of that. Without your health, it is such a hard hole to crawl out of. When you don't have community, when you don't have family, when you don't have people to rely on, people that can help you, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're screwed. So I'm really stressing this because I'm not a woman who chases money. If anything, it's all about discipline and responsibility and accountability and planning. I'm all for those things regarding money. When I say I'm not one to chase money, it's not like I'm going to grind and make millions of dollars and I want my partner to be a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. No, it's about how you manage your money. If you're only bringing in $30,000 or less than $30,000 a year, I'm paying attention to how you manage that. Because compared to someone else who's making $175,000 a year or $300,000 a year, they could be miserable because they're living paycheck to paycheck because they're horrible with managing their money compared to somebody who's making $50,000 a year. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how you manage your money. Truly. And if anything, what 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, did you catch that? What that taught me, seeing the food lines, going in and all the produce completely gone and the shelves completely gone, food. Have some farmer friends, guys. Local farmers are struggling because everything is being turned into a manufactured corporate entity. So support your local farmers. Support them. Help them. Harvest. They'll get free food. They'll teach you things. They'll teach you things that we've forgotten as a society, because what we believe in the synthetic systems, the money and the bullets. And whenever I think of preppers and people are like, they're not going to come and get my stuff because I got these. And it's like, ammo runs out. Ammo runs out. Money is even becoming not even a physical thing anymore. It's become Bitcoin now, digital. So someone could just hit boop, the off button and wipe out everybody's money. Tell me it could never happen. Come on. That's very idiotic and very, very, very just really daft way of thinking. Completely daft. If you believe that could never happen and people have never thought of it or attempted it, they just haven't let the public know. This whole cyber digital age of money. Bitcoin. Invest in Bitcoin. Just like electricity. If you haven't gone any extended amount of time without electricity, you really, I would say just try it for 3 days. Try it. Or with no running water. Try it for 3 days. Just try. Okay? I'm not saying don't use water or don't use light or candles. I'm saying just try it. It's a different way of thinking. So that's my thoughts, the whole prepper thing. Sometimes it depends on being in the right space and the right time with the right people. It's not always you can just depend on staying in one spot. Sometimes you literally do have to get out of Dodge. And that, I think, is a downside to people who have homesteads and who brag about it online. Wouldn't be me. You would never know. You would never know. I don't know how people do that, but they do, They'll share everything that they own online, and I don't know. I think we are in a new age where people are more transparent. That's a whole nother subject, a whole nother thing. But share your thoughts, your feelings. Tell me what you feel, what, your own personal philosophies. Again, there is no wrong or right. I want to make that very, very clear, because when I read some of the messages, it's kind of like, well, here's an answer. Try this, try that. And I'm like, I just want to know what you think, right? There is no wrong or right. There's no, you are where you are because you're at where you're at. And I'm not trying to convince anyone to not be that, if that makes any sense. All right. Well, with that, much love to you. And by the time you receive this, I just wish everyone a Happy New Year.